Listen up, business owners. We're talking about the top 3 mistakes that business owners make when they're marketing on social media. We're doing it with Erica Del Signore. She's the queen of making money through social media. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure.
It seems as if, since the advent of social media and the internet, that the way that businesses need to market and find clients is changing.
That's absolutely true. About 70% of all new startups are starting out of someone's home. So the big challenge for those companies is, how do I stand out and how do I actually collect leads from social media? I'm putting lots of content out, but I'm not seeing a lot coming back.
It's so interesting you say that, because the old model of business is, you open up in a downtown or in a storefront.
Exactly.
So it's embedded advertising. People see your sign. People, you're on a map. But yeah, when you're starting out of your house, how's anyone going to know what you are?
Yeah,
and what you do. So we have 3 tips, and the first mistake that people make is never using a call to action. How would you define a call to action?
A call to action is simply telling someone what you want them to do. So when you're putting a video on YouTube, it's great, it gets a lot of likes, but if you don't tell them to share it in the beginning, so you start off and you just say, hey, if you like what I'm going to talk about, please share it, please like it, please comment on it, because that helps me out, and here's my content.
That's true. It's so easy for someone to watch a video, and then because of our 24-hour news cycle, because we can scroll down a feed and see 100 videos, they go right over us. We need to be instructed as to what to do next.
Exactly.
It's so important that we do that. The second mistake that people make is not having a lead magnet. For those of us out there who aren't business owners, what's a lead magnet?
Well, a lead magnet can be several things. It can be a special report that's only a few pages long. It could be a mini book. On my website, you can always go get a mini book, and it'll be up there, and you have to have a juicy title. And not too juicy. I know this is a family show.
I was gonna, somewhat juicy. So what do you mean by that? How would you define a juicy title?
Well, like today's segment is 3 mistakes that business owners are making when they're trying to get business online.
I mean, people often resort and respond well to lists, I found.
Exactly. If you have a number and then something scary after it, or something positive after it, it works out really well.
You want to create content. You can't just hit someone over the head with what you're doing and what your business is. You need to give them additional content with embedded marketing in there in a way.
Right, and as crazy as it sounds, those magazine stands, when you're going out of the grocery store, like Star and People and Us Weekly, you really have to take a lesson from their front page, because that stuff really works.
Well, it's so funny too, even when I come into work in the morning and I peruse the internet for different things that we can talk about on the show, and I find myself clicking on things that are exactly that. It's X amount of things you need to do to get X, or this is why this is happening.
Exactly.
A catchy title goes a real long way. Lastly, the biggest mistake that people make is not having a long-term follow-up strategy.
Exactly. I mean, and a lot of people, it's easy to do an email a week and build your list of people that are interested in what you're talking about, and just email them every single week. But what I find even more effective is to do a video blog with the written blog underneath. And so that way, people get to know, like, and trust you much quicker. That's because 55% of your communication comes from body language, and 37% comes your voice intonation.
So it's more what you're doing than what you're saying.
Exactly. People are seeing the whole package that way, instead of just writing, where so often your message can be misconstrued.
That's what I hate about text messaging. You can't get irony or sarcasm in a text message.
Exactly.
And similarly, we need our body language to help promote our business. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, no worries.
My pleasure.
That's great. You can get more information on mymassappeal.com.